Randy Orton is going to face Sheamus at Battleground. Yay.
Yay.
I've already decided, and I know this is a bad thing for me to do for somebody who's going to be doing coverage and stuff, but I'm barely going to pay attention to this. Because even if I tried to, I probably still wouldn't be able to, and I really have no interest in this whatsoever. Like, that is a phrase that we throw around a lot, but I literally do not care. They could get rid of this and put a blank screen on and just say technical difficulties, and it won't it won't skew my opinion of the pay-per-view at all. That's how badly I care about this. Like, am I being a little too harsh, or
no? You're perfectly right. Let's take a look at how many times we've already seen this match on Raw and how little we cared then. Then you add in the fact that Randy Orton is just stale as hell, and I feel like we've been saying that almost every year because he gets in an interesting storyline where he has a turn, and then they don't know what to do with him. They just have no direction for the guy. And in fair play to them with Sheamus, they've been booking him well. It's just when you give him an opponent like Randy Orton, why do we care? So okay.
I have to come to the defense of this one for just a hair, not too much. I can't say too much in favor of it, but
just a hair on the chin.
I will say that storyline wise, I don't give a shit. Like there's no heat between these guys. I don't see it at all. This is got to be some kind of 1 month filler before they decide what they're doing with these guys for SummerSlam. But what I am looking forward to, this might be a decent match. You know, these are two of the better workers they have in the company right now. Randy Orton is constantly praised as one of the best that we've in the last decade. And I think Sheamus is a lot better than people tend to give him credit for. People have been talking about the matches Cesaro has been having the last few weeks on Raw. I think Sheamus has been having a few decent matches himself. So I think this will be a fine match between two professionals in there. And yeah, I might tune out a little bit too, but I think we'll see a few cool moves. And I think they might have something up their sleeve that we might not be expecting.
Yeah. I'm in favor of this match. I know we've seen it a lot over the years, but they put out a solid outing every time that they get in the ring together. And whereas it might not be interesting because there's not much behind it heat-wise, like Payne said, but it should be entertaining for what it is. There's no other way to say it. I know Orton doesn't have much of a character, and they don't know what to do with him. But to be fair, what would you do with him? His character is that he is very monotone. He gets crazy sometimes, but not really. So, I don't know. What would you do with a character like Orton? Like, what substance? They need to do something with his character.
You know what they should do? They should have him put over the younger guys because at this point he's got no benefits to the company's as drawing power as far as I'm concerned. Randy Orton has reached his heights. He's never going to...
maybe that's what he's doing right now. Maybe he's putting over Sheamus, the younger talent, the Money in the Bank holder, because he needs to get some solid victories while he's holding that Money in the Bank briefcase.
I'm fine with that as long as they give them no longer than 10 minutes.
To be fair, I think Sheamus might be older than Randy Orton. I'm not quite sure about that, but Sheamus is in his mid-30s as well as Orton.
I tell you what I'd like to see from Orton. Him being the victim. And not just like, oh, he's such a badass that 10 people were able to jump him and, the authority did something like that. I want to see somebody say, you used to be the Legend Killer? I'm going to kill the Legend Killer. And completely take you out. And kind of make it to where you have to root for Randy Orton again.
I think there was a lot of appeal to actually Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton for partially that reason, because it would have we would have put Randy Orton in an environment that we don't really see him in very often. But that's kind of gone now, so...
That would be one of the only matches left for Randy Orton on the card right now that I actually would be interested in seeing.
Oh, no. There are so many people I'd love to see Orton face off. You want to know why? NXT. And I think you could build, whenever those guys come up, I think he could easily slide in that role of putting
He never really has
guys
had
over.
a meaningful program with a Cesaro even. But then you got your Kevin Owens, your Finn Balor's, your Sami Zayn's, all those guys coming up. And again, Randy Orton is a master technician. He could have kick-ass matches with all these guys.
I think what we're seeing is an issue at the 3 hours of television, because Randy Orton has essentially wrestled everybody on the fucking roster. Because they need to do something with him on Raw. I mean, I've seen him wrestle Cesaro, and whilst a feud would be awesome, I've seen him wrestle him God knows how many times.
He's wrestled Cesaro?
He's wrestled Cesaro. He's done it a bunch of times on Raw. He's done it a bunch of times on SmackDown. In fact, they're really good matches, and that's no surprise.
But they haven't had an actual, like, feud.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is because of all these 3-hour Raws, we've seen him wrestle everyone, that it kind of takes some of the intrigue away from potential feuds.
I don't even know if it's that. I think it's because he's been around for like 10 fucking years.
Mm-hmm. And he's somebody who wrestles a lot. I mean, he didn't really show up all that much for this feud, which is maybe one of the reasons why it sucks, but maybe one of the reasons why it's not worse. Because if they would have beat this down even more, I probably would hate it even more. But, like, I don't know, Randy Orton to me is somebody who, if he works with somebody who he has a good style with, it can be a great match. And if he works in a way where he's in charge and the other person is kind of like a sluggish guy or whatever like that, those are boring as shit. Like, I mean, Randy Orton, the big joke has always been about, like, the headlocks and stuff. And I know that that's, like, part of the mentality is, well, you know, you're not really supposed to be doing flashy moves because you're a heel. Yeah, but you know what? You're also not supposed to be boring no matter what. And I can't stand when that happens. And Sheamus is somebody, too. I mean, everybody mentions the Extreme Rules match that I can't remember liking.
I can't remember either me.
Yeah, and I can't think of a single match with Sheamus that I've ever really liked. Not even like a 10 out of 10 or anything.
You need to go back and watch Sheamus versus the Big Show because they had a fucking classic.
Oh, yeah,
especially for big men.
When was that?
They put Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, and TLC in 2000.
There's one specific one where Big Show won, which was fucking awesome.
That was the one at Hell in a Cell.
I could tell you the only match that I liked with Sheamus was the WrestleMania, and that's only because it lasted 18 seconds.
Right. Like, I kind of liked that more than a lot of other people did, and at the same time, that was mostly because it was just like, all right, yeah, it's out of the way. Because I didn't really love Daniel Bryan at that point either.
Here's the thing, when it comes to Sheamus, here's the thing. He just had a very good match with Roman Reigns a few weeks ago on Raw.
Yeah, but see, I haven't been paying attention to them because I'm so bored.
You need to fucking pay attention to them then.
Tony, we've figured it out. The problem is that you're automatically tuning out when Sheamus is on there, so you have a bias. It's not a problem of Sheamus's matches. He's having good matches, but you're turning away, so you don't have a proper opinion about it. Go back and watch some more Sheamus matches.
I'm turning away because he spent years sucking. Like, that's what formed my bias.
He didn't suck then either. You weren't paying attention then either. Because I'm trying to tell you, he had all these good matches years ago, and you're like, oh, I don't remember him. Because you weren't watching them.
Because I didn't like him. Like, if I've never liked anything that Sheamus has really done since he came into the company, you know, anybody can change their opinion. I mean, I used to not like Daniel Bryan, and then I did.
Do you want to know why everyone... Do you know what... I'll try that again.
I want to know what the sentence is first.
Yeah. There's a reason why people are disinterested with Sheamus, and it's because they pushed him too hard from the get-go. There was nowhere for him to go because he was fucking WWE champion as soon as he came into the company. Following that, there's only one place you can go, and that's down. So we've already seen him reach the pinnacle. There's no journey to go on with Sheamus. He's done.
Well, I think one of the other reasons why I'm not a big fan of him and why I don't have any faith in this match is...
Racist against Irish people.
Well, there's that, but I don't like his style. Like, I don't mind brawlers and stuff like that, and if they're a really good brawler, they can be really, really entertaining, but there's something about Sheamus that just, like, I don't know, like, it doesn't mesh well. Like, he's got a wide variety of moves that he can do, which is good.
Yes.
But I don't find them entertaining to watch. And like,
dude, he's the only guy to do a Razor's Edge in like
he hasn't
20
done
years.
He hasn't done that in like 20 years too.
No, that's not his fault, but he at least tried it, and it looked awesome when he did it.
I did like that move better than all the moves that he's got, except for the Brogue Kick. Like the Brogue Kick's a good finisher. I'm down for that.
I like the Irish Curse when he did it early on.
I never liked
put a lot more veracity into it when he did it.
The Texas Clover Leaf wasn't that good.
Well, it's still neat for him to have a submission he could bust out, though. It's not like it was one of his top moves. I mean, that's one of the things that I definitely make a defense of him. He has a very wide variety of moves that he could bust out any time, which I think more people need to take advantage of that rather than having the same old one or two moves at most. Something else I think is really great about him that I don't think people give enough credit for is he's actually really good at selling. If you watch his matches, he's way better at selling than the majority of the guys that are out there.
But here's
especially
the thing,
for a big guy.
You punch him and he bruises like a fucking banana, so it's very...
Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
the best thing.
That's awesome. It's a unique thing about him.
Like, every time that Jonna actually can stand to watch Raw, she'll look at Sheamus and go, holy shit, look at his back. And that's awesome. If a casual fan sees that and it's something they can grab onto or gravitate to, that's great for his character.
What do you guys think this is factoring in when it comes to Money in the Bank? Is this like a good thing for the Money in the Bank for this to be the feud? Or is this such a filler thing that it's hurting Money in the Bank?
I don't think one has anything to do with the other. It's just killing time for everything involved because you're not going to have Sheamus cash in Money in the Bank in the first month. You're going to want to let that linger for a little bit because you already got so much going on with the world title picture. It's just killing time for all those people because they don't know what to do with Randy Orton. They don't really know what to do with Sheamus, and you can't do anything with Money in the Bank yet.
Randy Orton is still one of the top guys in the company. So if anything, he's in a high-profile feud. Not really high-profile, but he's in a feud with at least a 10-time world champion, and he's a Money in the Bank briefcase holder.
Former face of the company.
Exactly. So, if anything, it doesn't hurt the Money in the Bank at all. Like, not every time. It could be worse. He could be jobbing out every week and losing every week.
It's not like he's out there. He's not out there jobbing a Jack Swagger or anything. That would be horrendous.
No, but I mean, at the same time, I keep forgetting that he has Money in the Bank.
Again, because you just tune him out with your own bites.
And that's also a good thing, because when it happens, you'll forget about it, and it'll be a surprise.
Oh, I'm super pissed.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
Yeah, he isn't one of those guys who's cutting that same promo every week. We're like, when am I going to cash it in?
Oh,
tonight?
That's annoying as hell. I can't stand it when they do that.
He's definitely cashing in on the night, by the way.
Oh, at Battleground?
I'll come to that later.
At Battleground, you think?
Yeah. Later on, I'll come to it.
The difference between Sheamus and Seth Rollins was in every single segment last year and the beginning of this year when he had the Money in the Bank briefcase. Fuck my life. Money in the Bank.
Wait, the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I love that guy. Remember when he fucking teamed with Hulk Hogan?
If Sheamus carried around a Money in the Bank briefcase, I think I'd be paying more attention. I'd be like, he's got a briefcase? What?
Can you please let me finish this?
No, I'm going to make more beefcakes.
But like, no, Seth was in every segment last year, so it was very hard to forget about him because he was always there. You knew he was a Money in the Bank holder. Sheamus doesn't need to be, and I like the idea that it'll be more of a surprise. He might lose it, and most likely he will, but he still has the beefcake. Fuck my life, briefcase. I'm done. I'm talking about this. Okay.
Go on. What does he want to say, Drew? Go ahead. Money in the Bank. No?
Somebody please send us in a Photoshop of a beefcase. Put that in the Mega Maniacs or email it or something. I don't know. Let's go around here, though. Who do you think's winning this? I am thinking that this is just going to be a Sheamus win, but what do you guys think? Peyton?
Yeah, it's got to be a Sheamus win. If it's anything else, it's a mistake. I mean, maybe if they're doing like what Sean says, if they're going to have him cash in and they want to do that thing where he loses first and they have him win later, like they do all the damn time with the Money in the Bank, that's fine. But like,
he's reading the script backstage. Oh, I lose first.
Sheamus should win this, absolutely.
Wego, who's winning?
I'm actually with Sean. I think he's going to cash in at the event, or at least I think there's a strong possibility. And because of that, Randy Orton wins.
Wego? Or I just went with you? Sean?
Well, what I was saying, I think Randy Orton's going to win because...
Sean, is he losing and then cashing in, or is he
I'm gonna go with Sheamus to win.
So he wins and then he cashes in?
He cashes in and then, because he makes it a triple threat match, he gets curb stomped and he loses, and that's how Seth Rollins regains his title.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is going to use that move that's banned.
Yeah, suddenly I'm not believing in Sean's theory as much.
Is this Sean's theory? What would you expect?
Drew, Orton or Sheamus?
I'm going to go with Sheamus. I'm not 100% on that, and it might be more along the lines of 60%, but I'm going to go with Sheamus on this one. It would not surprise me if Orton wins, though.
So what do you guys think? Orton, Sheamus, are you excited? Are you not? Is this going to have any factor in with Money in the Bank? Leave those comments below. Tell us what a beefcase is. And we will come back in part 6 with the Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat match. Ryback, Miz, and Big Show.